Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Real Films Review Podcast. American, this is Jordan, and today so we're nearing the end of 2025, and did some of the
Speaking of which, if you hear his dog whimpering, should we bring him in?
yeah, sure,
He should be okay.
yeah.
All right. Go ahead and continue your thing. I will let
But so we're ending the year 2025, 40 years of movies that of 40. Hold on, movies that turn 40, and I turned 40 earlier this year. So
people like
I wanted
puppies.
to talk about 40 movies turning 40, and here's one of the last ones. We're going to talk about from 1985, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I used to watch Pee-wee's Playhouse as a kid, and
I know I watched it, like saw it, but I don't think I watched it, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Like I watched some episodes, but I didn't go out of my way to watch it. I just thought this was a really strange show. I didn't hate it, but I didn't particularly like it. This movie, it made me like it more, but it was just that, out of there's a lot of shit in there. I'm trying to find a place for my phone to sit right there. This movie just was really strange context wise. We're gonna also have dogs in here, so for viewers that like that stuff.
everybody loves dogs.
Yeah.
So this is directed by Tim Burton, starring
Was it Tim Burton?
Yeah,
really? I did not know that actually.
And I was going to get into it in a little bit. I may bring up the rest of it, but this I think was one of his first like productions, like
really,
as a director. Yeah.
Okay. Before he got into like what we know him
Yeah.
for.
So he did a few other like small things. You remember from the early 2000s that Frankenweenie that they did?
Yeah.
He directed that, but before in the early 80s, it was a short film. He directed it, and Paul Reubens, who played Pee Wee Herman, he liked his style and the aesthetic of the movie itself. And he's like, I think that would match perfect with Pee Wee.
Oh, definitely.
So he talked to the studios.
Never realized that, but yeah, it's like since you said that, it's like just that whole opening, how bizarre it is.
Mm-hmm.
The show itself's already bizarre, but you tack on the opening part, it's like, oh, okay.
And so starring Paul Reubens, Elizabeth Daily, Mark Holton, Diane Salinger, and Judd Omen. And written by Paul Reubens, Michael Varhol, and Phil Hartman. I didn't know that.
I know.
You know who Phil Hartman is,
I know
of course.
Phil Hartman is.
Oh man, it's still so tragic what happened to him.
Whoa.
I don't want to get too much into it, but in '98 he was murdered by his wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, whenever we come across a movie with him in it, we'll talk about it more. But and produced by Robert Shapiro, William E. McGinn, and Richard Gilbert Abramson. Cinematography by Victor J. Kemper, edited by Bill Weber, music by Danny Elfman.
Now I'm seeing the budget was $7 million there. How much they make off this?
40.9.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Going off of a show though into a movie, and I told Eric this as we'll get into it, but it's like, to me, I felt like the beginning part of the movie was kind of annoying up until he kind of gets his bike stolen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it had that like kind of stuff, but.
And well, of course, the release date was August 9th, 1985.
That's weird to me because I thought this was a 90s movie. Maybe it's just because obviously I saw it when in the 90s.
I don't know. It kind of has a feel,
yeah,
but it's definitely 80s.
It's 80s, but it's like I remember just thinking like, man, this is a 90s movie, but I think it's just because I watched it
in the 90s,
and it stuck as like, yeah, this movie was made in the 90s. I don't remember when I watched it. I just know I was young, and I thought this is weird as shit.
The movie tells the story of Pee-wee's search for his stolen bike. Simple premise right there.
Hey.
After a failed audition for SNL, Paul Reubens developed the character from The Groundlings, an improv show in Los Angeles, which led to an HBO special in 1981 and several appearances on David Letterman's show. He would always show up on those talk shows through the 80s and early to mid 90s as Pee-wee. He would not break character. Yeah. I think the time that he actually broke character was when he did. Do you remember that Johnny Depp movie Blow in the early 2000s?
Yeah,
he was in it.
Yeah, and it was really kind of weird when you see him and you're used to. To me, it almost felt like when I saw that, instead of seeing a character playing Pee-wee, I thought Pee-wee was a real person, so his whole thing worked. And I thought it was Pee-wee, the guy, being like, I'm going to play a serious role when I actually play a serious role in a movie. And I was like, I know, as I got older, it kind of became more obvious, but.
And his manager suggested that he should take Pee-wee on like a tour. Like a show, like 22
like a comedy
cities,
strip.
yeah. So it did 22 cities, including the Universal Amphitheater in L.A., where Warner Brothers executives greenlit a full-length Pee-wee movie.
Now I feel like this happened. They did this recently too, huh? Before he passed, where they went all over. They went all over to different spots. I felt like he had one more kind of comedy show where he went all over the place, or maybe it was one for Pee-wee.
It was a. What are those shows called?
It was like
an hour special.
It was an hour special, and I know that it was way more adult themed because I mean, you think people that watched it then now have grown up, so it was like it had way more adult humor into it.
So you've never seen the show, huh?
I've watched the show. I've seen episodes.
Did you see episodes with Cowboy Curtis?
Yes.
You know who that was?
No.
Lawrence Fishburne. Morpheus. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like the blue pill or the red pill. No, I've seen the show. I have. I just didn't go out of my way to watch it. It was one of those, like, if it was on and maybe there was a show I wanted to watch after it, I would more watch that. So,
but
hey, buddy.
Paul Reubens basically got the idea for watching people ride bikes. He was at the Warner Brothers lot in the back.
Just don't let him. Just let him hit your mic. So if y'all end up hearing like scruffling, it's you can clearly see.
That's how. He saw people ride the bike, so he got the idea of the bike thing through that, and yeah, like I said, Tim,
this is definitely one of those movies I can actually say I know I've seen the whole thing through. Now when we were watching this before we started to review it, because we watched it today, it made me realize I never watched the second one. Like,
yeah, there's another one, Big Top Pee-wee.
Yeah, and
then there was
I don't think that one is as good. Like, I think people were like, "Hey, this is a good one-off top movie." Simple. He's getting his bike.
I think I may one day find it and watch it, but honestly, right now I'm just, not interested.
That's how you feel.
Yeah. This is also, I was going to tell you, like, there's a few interesting things that I found. This is one of them. I don't know how interesting you find it, but this is not about the film registry like I always do. I don't think this is in there, but the movie was released. It made 40-something million. But it became like a cult classic, kind of like Rocky Horror. Well, I don't know about that.
It definitely has that feel to it.
But so Paul Reubens, Phil Hartman, and Michael Varhol revised the script. They all wrote it together. They read a book by Sid Fields called Screenplay from 1979.
That sounds familiar.
And it's a book about how to write screenplays. And they wrote the script according to the book's advice. It's a 90-minute film with a 90-page script. The first act ends on page 30. The second act ends on page 60.
No, last one.
And the last one on 90. I never heard. No one does that. In fact,
I could see that though.
They sometimes use the movie to screen in writing classes because it fits the screenwriting paradigm perfectly. So, and I found that interesting.
I get you because when you said it was 1:30, I thought, oh, that's kind of perfect because it's like right there, you know.
All right, so you ready to get into this?
Yeah, I'm ready to get into it. Like I said in the beginning, I never really liked the opening of it. It just, I know it's the typical Pee-wee wakes up and does his whole thing and gets ready.
He's dreaming that he's riding his bike.
Yeah, that's right. He wins the bike race.
Tour de France.
Yeah, he wins the bike race.
Number 0, and he wins.
He wins, probably on steroids. And
Lance Armstrong.
Yeah. And then, like, he goes down. The whole house scenario, to me, it felt like, I get it. I understand. Pee-wee's Playhouse. Gotta have the crazy, wacky house. I mean, that's just how he is. And I think what gets me is, like, me and him were watching, and I mentioned, like, how would you feel about having him as a neighbor? It was like, I think I would lose my shit. I don't think I can handle that.
Like, everything he did in this house is, like, so childish. Yeah. He has a Rube Goldberg setup of how to make his breakfast, and I always see this in movies when they do this. Like, I think one of the Ernest movies has this. Not Ernest Scared Stupid. I know for a fact because I watched that one the most. But all this stuff, and it's like, you're just gonna have to set that up again.
Yeah. That's not the point, though.
I know, but it's
just
like
for day one. That's future him can handle it. Day 2 version of him can handle it. You know, like
all the pancakes stuck to the roof that he had, talking with his breakfast, and then just pour cereal on his breakfast.
And if he didn't do that, his day would be ruined. It's got to be in that format.
And what did he? I don't want to spend too much time on it, but he's doing all that stuff, and he goes to the bathroom and brushes his teeth, trying to fix himself up, just to tape his face up.
Yeah, that I think as a kid, I was like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, I think that is why I don't like the beginning too much of the movie. I was like, let's get to the bike part. Like right when the bike part gets, when he loses it, that's why I think I enjoy the movie more. I don't hate the build up to it. It's just that beginning part is like, what are we doing here? I think maybe like there's the one scene where he waters his yard and it.
Yeah, he's like, talking to his neighbor. I'm going to water the yard. He's like, okay.
The neighbor's totally fine. Like, yeah, this happens every day.
But he goes through all this secrecy.
I point out to him on the bike, but yeah, when there's a code, I think when he has the little code latch, I really think it's hold by duct tape.
It could have. I may get home tonight and study it just to do it.
Just to see. I mean, I'm curious. Like, because you don't notice it because you're looking at him punching the numbers in.
But yeah, he gets his bike, that red bike that he really loves his bike. He gets it out and shines it and everything. And as he's getting ready to go,
it's a nice bike. I gotta do it.
I'd drive it. His neighbor Francis comes up, played by
Mark Holton. His neighbor? That was his neighbor? I thought it was just a kid that, like, in the neighborhood.
Maybe down the road.
I say kid. I mean, they're like adults.
Adult man. Yeah. But I think this was his first movie. But he also did Teen Wolf, which came out the same year.
He did a really good job in this movie, though. Just the way he over-exaggerated himself. He kind of matched that same goofy energy that Pee-wee had. Yep. Of course, Pee-wee was, way more expressive.
It was his birthday, and he wanted to buy Pee-wee's bike. And they go through a what's it called a barrage of childish insults.
I told him I don't think I would let my kid watch the movie just so I don't want to deal with that shit. Because you would expect it. If he loved the movie, he would know that part and just repeat it at you, and it'd be like, man, yeah, just like I can't.
I know you are, but what am I? And he's like, Pee-wee, listen to reason. Shh, I'm listening to reason.
I could not stand. I would be like, oh, man.
And so Pee-wee just rides off on his bike, trying to do tricks in front of kids. And doesn't he fucking he hits the curve and he flips over his bike in front of all the kids like I meant to do that.
He does
trying to do the
that.
Pee Wee voice. I can't do it.
You're going to be doing the only Pee Wee impressions here. I can't. I don't want to.
I'm not. I'm done.
That happens, and I know eventually, like he goes to the mall, goes to the joke shop, and I noticed this, and I think he knows at the same time. He walks into Mario's Magic Shop or Gags or Gifts or something. But I noticed that when you walk in, it's supposed to say like Mario's Magic Shop. But when you walk in, Mario's is the back part. Mario's is flipped around where you read Mario's perfectly, but the other stuff is facing that way.
Yeah, it should be backwards on the like other side of the door. I caught it too.
I swear I saw it. I didn't because I was like,
this movie's not that important, but I'm gonna study it. I'm when I go home tonight, I'm gonna check out this stuff that I missed because I am curious. But he tries to go in, huh?
Yeah, he goes in there.
He chains up his bike. He pulls out all that chain from the back of his bike and just literally wraps it around the entire bike.
I think I found and I know that's the whole concept of the movie is Pee-wee acts really fucking weird, and there's normal people looking like, what the fuck? Because the normal people are supposed to be us, the viewers, going like,
when he's in the shop, he puts on that
doing
big
all this shit and stuff. Yeah, the lady's like,
what?
He's like, what the fuck is going on? And like, and then the big head stuff. But no,
yeah, the guy owns the shop, tries to show him some stuff. He ends up buying
he bought the gum, which I thought was fucking disgusting.
Which comes into play in a minute. But
yeah, he goes there. Then he went to the bike
shop
store, to get his special horn. And like I was telling Eric, there's a part in that where he's acting really serious to the lady, like, you wouldn't want to. I don't remember the line; it's been so long, but it's like, well, I was like, you don't want to get tangled up in a guy like me. And I'm listening to it, and I said, I actually would love the idea if he was aware that he's acting batshit crazy. And that's like normal him coming out for a few seconds to warn people like, no, you actually don't want to be here. And he goes back to being goofy as shit. It's like a normal, it's like he has multiple personalities and one version's like
Dottie wants him bad.
Yeah.
By the way, I was going to tell you this. So we watched this together before this, and I told him to keep an eye out. So this lady, I think I had her name, Elizabeth Daily.
You're saying it was familiar.
Who she goes by E.G. Daily, I think.
You don't have to name movies or something.
No, I am about to. That's what I was setting up for.
Yeah.
She is the voice of Tommy Pickles from Rugrats.
Yeah, I actually hear it now. Yeah. Now you mention that. Wow.
Yep.
I could have sworn it was someone different, but no, that makes sense. That was Tommy.
All the Rugrats were voiced by women.
I love that everybody who's seen Rugrats too, I think, can agree on this. But like when Tommy's younger brother came in, it like ruined the show. Everyone, I think, hated it. It was like, we're done here.
I didn't as much because I enjoyed Rugrats, but I got tired of the reruns.
Yeah.
And when they introduced it, you got those, and then there was reruns of that.
Well, there's reruns of that, and then like obviously you fall out of it, and then it's like, no, they go to college, and it's like,
yeah, I didn't like. That's where it was ruined for me.
I just thought, to me, it's when the brother came in around the movie. He was actually going to kill his brother in that movie too.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's crazy, right?
That shit got dark.
Talking about Rugrats during Pee Wee.
I mean that's like I don't think we're ever going to fucking review a Rugrats movie randomly.
I mean, we could do the movies if you wanted, but
I'd rather do the SpongeBob movies before that because at least that feels like a higher up in
a thing real quick. So about my life, okay. So in those early to mid to late 90s, however long it ran, I'm not quite sure, I watched Rugrats. And I had, as being younger, the basic cable where you only had like a certain amount of channels.
Mm-hmm.
Channel 20 was Nickelodeon for my TV. And we had Fox, USA. We had those major channels. We didn't have everything, all right? So I watched Rugrats. And the day that I became more of an adult, I was probably about 15 or 16 about the time, but I was still watching Rugrats, some of the old ones, and then they had the new ones. In 2002, we got the cable which was at the time Cameron Communications down in our area.
You're getting the preview. You can actually see what everything is, and you get a wall.
So we never had MTV, but I knew about MTV with the music, and then Beavis and Butthead.
Mm-hmm.
When we got that, we had a whole bunch of other channels. MTV was included. I don't want to necessarily say MTV changed my life, but in that era, that cable itself changed my life. Because after that, I never watched another episode of that again. Ever. It was MTV and everything else that they had in that package. I watched other stuff on Nickelodeon, like sporadically, but at that moment, when we got that, I forgot that Rugrats existed. And it was like a turning point in my life. It's one of those moments in your life that you remember.
I think the one that sticks out to me is like seeing the first, like when SpongeBob got released, and it was like the first episode or two it came out. I had to be maybe 9, 10, or 11, somewhere in that margin. I feel like I was around like 10. I was in that mode where it was like you're shifting from cartoons, kind of, and it was like, yeah, I have this vague memory of SpongeBob that happening, and I remember like going on HBO Max and flipping through the channels and being like, "This is ridiculous! How many episodes?" And there's a new movie coming out. I think it's released in theaters right now, so that's crazy to me. I think there's 3 movies technically, and this is the 4th one. But anyway, maybe we may do SpongeBob movies. I don't know. I actually could find more entertaining with that sporadic shit than I could watching a Rugrats movie. But anyway, so he goes to the bike shop. He gets the horn. The girl clearly wants Pee-wee to the point where it's like, and he does. I know he's trying to play cool, but again, I like the idea of him being that is like actual him, like giving a warning to normal people, like, "Hey, no, I'm actually batshit crazy. Like,
I'm a man-child. Stay away.
I am." Yeah, they don't say what his job is either.
I don't know, but
I told him Pee-wee as a killer would be a fucking nightmare.
Pee-wee as a
he would string you up in his house, and you'd be part of his fucking house. You'd be making him pancakes as your dead body.
I had a joke.
That's not good. A bad one. That's good that he doesn't remember it. The last one was too much. I will walk out.
No, it's not one of those.
So,
what I was going to say is, because she wants him and he doesn't do it, but it's like, if she was to show him, I don't think he'd know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he would do his fucking faces and then make sounds. That's what he would do. He'd have to get a machine to help him, or his condom he would have on would be alive.
It'd have a smiley face.
It'd have a fucking smiley face. And it'd be talking. It'd be too much. But yeah, his bike ends up getting stolen, and I always thought that clown was extra creepy because it's like turns around, it's like, and then
it's like,
and the whole, it never really occurred to me as a kid. I mean, I just thought of it as a scene, but he freaks out. He goes to the bike store, passes out, knocks all the bikes out, and then like, I know the cops and stuff do all that, but it's the part where he's walking, his like walk of shame. And I knew that they had a lot of bikes riding around, but me as a kid, I just didn't. I thought, okay, like, when's the next goofy, funny scene? Like, I know, like, now I'm older. It's like, yeah, they're just doing the whole teasing things. Everyone's got bikes and tricycles. And,
like, rubbing it in his face almost.
Like, everybody, insane amount. And it's just like, this is a bit much. But yeah, right at that point where he loses his bike, I think is where I was loving the whole movie. Like, I kind of jumped on board more because it's like, okay, now he's venturing out into the normal world and it's fucking crazy as shit. And I know, like, I don't know if there's a scene. Okay, now I remember. He ends up, I think, he goes
to the police and tries to tell them that his bike was stolen.
It was the Russians.
yeah.
It was the Soviet Union, I think is what he said.
The Soviets, yeah. And she was like, retrace your steps and everything. And can you think of anybody who wanted to take it? And he mentioned about Francis. Francis!
Yeah.
That's the way he says it. Francis! And so he goes to his house and the music's playing. The Danny Elfman score. It's like,
yeah, you mentioned that was something on Primus.
Yeah, I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
That's later on. But So he goes to knock on the door, but as he's doing it, it's like into the music, in the rhythm of the music, and their butler opens the door. He's like, "Where's Francis?"
Yeah.
No, he goes, "Where's Francis?" And he's like, he said he's
taking a bath.
Like, oh, really? Where are they hosing him down? And he closes the door, and he knocks again the same way with the music, and he opens the door, and he goes, "Hi, it's me again," and he closes it again. And then it knocks again, but the guy opens it, and he put a little clown hand onto the door, and it's knocking.
Yeah, like you said, like, it was like, how did he get that?
Yeah, where did he get? Like, he didn't buy it at the store. I don't know, but he ends up getting in, and Francis is. He says he's bathing, but he's playing in what looks like a pool.
It was a pool. I think originally it was just a pool, but they wanted to play it off of like they're so rich that his pool was a bathtub.
Okay,
which is fucking. That makes sense. That's absurd. I mean, obviously you can get a big tub. And yeah.
Pee Wee gets in there and tries to go after him, but Francis goes underwater. But I like that shot. And it cuts the Pee Wee's little skinny gray legs.
Well, when that happened, that's when I turned to Eric. I said, like, he'd be fucking terrifying as a killer. I'm not joking. Like, he would string you up and you'd be a part of his house. You think, I mean, it could be like, you get skinned alive as a fucking seat. And somehow is like magical and keeps you alive through like dark magic. You're part of his fucking seat.
Real quick, though, I wanted to mention that Mark Holton that plays Francis. I had a question.
Do you think this movie, the scene of the talking toilet in that one movie that we keep talking about where it's like, feed me your pee or whatever it is, the one that like gave me nightmares. Think this was inspired by Pee Wee because of just inanimate, like talking, like animated talking objects that are sentient and have eyes? Because it was very like Pee Wee Herman nightmarish.
But I wanted to real quick talk about Mark Holton that plays Francis. He, I think I saw this before this movie I'm about to talk about, but I remember him mostly from in the early 2000s. They had these, I think, straight to DVD releases of movies about real life serial killers, and Mark Holton played John Wayne Gacy. And that was my first time of learning who John Wayne Gacy is. Learning that story, that was awful. But that was a good movie, too. And this came out at the same time. There was the four big ones. They had a Ted Bundy. I can't remember the actor's name that played Ted Bundy, but that was crazy, too. They had another one called Gein. Talking about the serial killer Ed Gein. I don't remember the actor that played him, but which was also the first time that I noticed this actor because they also did a what's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer, played by Jeremy Renner, who was Hawkeye in the Avengers. He played Jeffrey Dahmer.
I could see that. They kind of
and that was good too. Those were all good. They didn't get any good reviews, but me personally, I thought they were fine.
Some people don't want to watch serial killers, and some people want to see it more as a documentary and stuff. Which we also might do documentaries at some point, but I don't know if we should do like one or do like two, and just do like small bullet points of them or something.
That would be an idea.
Like,
spitballing ideas while we're making a video.
Well,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'll say with that idea, it's from someone I watch called Mr. Gigi. If people watch that and they watch ours, if they watch ours, they know of him. He's like on this kick of watching disturbing documentaries. I don't know if I want to watch some of the ones he's seen, but I like the formula and I wouldn't mind trying just maybe some like random ones. But yeah, that's kind of a funny concept, or just bad movies. We're going to try to probably do some movies people haven't heard of, not normally. But anyway, yeah. So he goes into the pool, and I was like, yeah, he'd be a fucking perfect serial killer.
So as he's trying to get him, Francis' dad comes in with the butler. Well, the butler breaks the door and he falls into the pool. But Pee Wee basically apologizes.
Hands him the stick of gum, which to me is still fucking gross.
Yeah, so they each get a piece of gum. The dad gets a gum that's spicy. And Francis gets one I don't know how it works.
It was
but
black licorice.
It makes
kind of just oil.
Black ink come out of his mouth.
That was gross.
And
I know that happens, and then we do get a scene, and I think it might be before or after, but he goes to the guy that stole the bike, and he's like, I don't want, like, basically, it's like, I don't want any trouble because Pee-wee's going to fucking kill me. Like, there's actual fear. I know Pee-wee, I think
he goes to the radio station and tells his story.
Was it a radio station? I might have.
Yeah, it was.
I might have skipped over
that. Yeah. So yeah, you were right. You were right there.
They had that.
He had Francis told him that he didn't steal his bike, but a scene later, or 2 scenes later, you find out that Francis did steal it. Well, he paid someone to do it, but Pee-wee's so crazy, he didn't want it around him, so he told the guy to get rid of it. So the guy that he paid gets it out of his house while Francis is counting his money. So, and then Pee-wee sets up a little thing under, I don't know if it's his house or somewhere's, gets all the characters that he knew together and trying to find out.
And he's like going crazy. It's everyone that has bikes apparently all rode to his house. And they didn't have cars.
They said they've been there 3 hours. He says he has 217 items to show. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's just pictures.
First one was a picture with him and his bike, and then the other one was just him. What's missing? The bike! But Dottie tries to... Everyone's starting to leave, and Dottie tries to help him out, but Pee-wee gets mad and doesn't want her help. So he's walking through the alley. Like, they show this alley, and it's raining. And they have this lady walking, and in the background, you see his shadow, and he's, like, hunched over, and you don't see him, but you just see his shadow. This lady freaks out and immediately moves to the side, and then he comes walking down the thing, just getting rained on, and these people try to come mug him, but he hisses at them, and they all scatter, and as he's walking, he gets to a palm reader, or a lady,
of the palm reader, who straight up just stole his money.
Yeah.
It's in the Alamo basement.
Yeah, so she cheats him because he has his wallet.
Tell me what you're here for. You're missing something. Okay, what am I missing? Obviously, her saying bike wouldn't be a hard guess for how ridiculous he's been about the whole thing.
Yeah.
On the TV and stuff, and not TV, but on the radio. It's like, okay.
She tells him it's in the basement of the Alamo. And so he gets all excited, so he starts to hitchhike to Texas, doing the old hitchhiker
thumb up thing. But I thought part of the joke, but they didn't really say it, is I thought the joke was going to be, because he said he's been there for hours, but I really thought the joke was going to be like he was there for 20 minutes.
That would have been funny,
because
they didn't do it.
He seems like the kind of person where he would go and do that, and after like 15 to 20 minutes, he'd be all like he was. And he gets picked up by the supposed serial killer guy when all he did was just cut the...
Like, did he actually kill someone, or did he just tell him that he did that? You know what I mean?
No, I think I think the joke literally is that he cut the do not cut thing off of that.
Because they said he was armed and dangerous.
Yeah. Because he was armed because he was able to cut off with a pair of scissors to cut that off. So that was the joke.
He gets picked up by the guy. He's like, "What'd you do?" He said, "You know those do not remove tags they put on mattresses? I cut one of them off."
Yeah, him just, my God. It had, I think that was always what was funny, is seeing Pee-wee go from like a serious mode instead of being like, being goofy.
And when Pee-wee's sitting there looking at him, a truck is on the side of him with his bike on the back.
Yeah.
And then they kind of pan off, and he never sees his bike. And
they get stopped by a cop, and he has to dress as a woman.
Yeah, and that cop was way too attracted to him. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like,
it was funny because Pee-wee dressed like that. I was like, I feel like I've seen some women like this before.
He looked like Shelley Duvall from The Shining. You see it?
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. But
they had to get stopped, and I don't remember what scene happens because it's kind of like a blur. I'm more remembering the scenes I think that happen after
well, he's driving.
They do. He fall off a cliff, don't they?
Yeah, they go off a cliff and they're about to fall. I mean, not to hit, but they put the roof up and it catches them like a parachute.
That's just strong enough for him. Yeah. That's very Tim Burton-esque.
Yeah, and it sets down and the guy immediately kicks him out.
Well, the guy was like, he kicks him out, but it was more in the way of like, I'm too dangerous.
Like, I'm a loner. I'm a loner. A rebel. And he's like, deja vu. So
that's when he hitchhikes, right? And he gets picked up by Mad Mark.
No. He gets dropped off from the criminal, and he's sitting there, and you see cartoon eyes on the screen.
That's right.
And you see a bunch of eyes go around him, and he lights a match, and there's a bunch of animals around him. But after that is when he gets picked up by Large Marge, and this scene as a kid,
I think everybody was scared of.
Terrified me. He gets picked up by Large Marge, and they're driving in the truck, and she tells him the story about a bad wreck, and it's definitely Tim Burton because of the face.
The claymation immediately turned to face, and
she said they looked like this, and her face turned weird and freaked him out.
It's the lady's creepy, but it's like if you know that claymation's coming, that part as a kid like fucked you up. You were just like, I can't do this.
Apparently, when they were making the movie, that lady was talking to Paul Rubens, and she was worried about the scene. That it would be like too scary, but he said that everyone's going to remember the scene.
Yeah.
And technically they did. And he actually got to visit her on her deathbed years later. And she told him, like, once again, like, thank you for getting me in this movie, you know?
That's sad.
That's really neat. But she drops him off at a diner, and she tells them, "Tell them Large Marge sent you." So he walks in, and he's like, "Large Marge sent me," and everyone just, and basically they find out that she's the one that died. The story that she told was about her. They even have like a little shrine.
It's the fact that one guy just like looking at it, they're all superstitious,
and they said, "So that must mean who dropped me off was," and they all go, "A ghost." So he eats some food and realizes he doesn't have his wallet. So he gets to wash dishes. And Simone comes to, I guess, flirt with him.
She felt really kind of forced, but that's part of the whole joke, I think, with Pee-wee is just like he has these women that get attracted to him, and he does not care. Or he cares, but it's like in a different way, and it's like, okay.
So they end up watching the sunset in a dinosaur, and apparently those dinosaurs, even the T-Rex, are they use them as tourist attractions for that area. I don't remember where it was though.
But that whole thing, it's funny because I remember that scene a lot, but like he noticed it too. The continuity errors, if I'm saying that right, the whole thing of like, oh, my boyfriend's jealous, and the boyfriend, like, it's nighttime. The boyfriend walks over, and then he's listening, but then it's daytime.
Yeah, you like when she says something or he says something that's sexual sounding, but it's not. And he's outside listening.
Let's talk about how big your butt is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And he's listening, but it's one of those things where you can tell that the sun is out and shining.
Yeah, on him. It's shining for him,
like midday,
and then for them it's dark, and then it cuts to the sun's coming up. But they just showed him being dark, and then when they come out, it's like now it's daylight.
Yeah,
so it's like nighttime, daytime, morning, daytime.
So she wants to go to Paris, and as they're leaving, I think his name's Andy.
Yeah,
he chases Pee-wee with a bone from a little sign, and he ends up jumping on a train. And
that's probably one of my favorite parts is him being, because he jumps on a train, he goes to sleep, he gets woken up by a hobo, a train hopper. I forgot what the actual name is, but he's a homeless person on a train. And he's like, sardine? And he's just like, no, thank you. And then there's this segment of, you think this is going to be the movie, You think, all right, this part's good. Like this train scene, you just go off a movie. You think it's going to be longer. Really, it's maybe like a 3-minute to 5-minute thing because he sits there singing. And I love how he goes from being into it to being burnt out.
Yeah.
He's like, this is too much for me. And he just jumps off.
Jumps out.
That I love that because he's like, oh, just can't.
And then they conveniently are in San Antonio, Texas, where he needs to go. So he ends up making his way to the Alamo, and he gets into one of those
tourist
things, and he's trying to ask where the basement is, but he doesn't get it out, so no one knows. So the lady stops him, which apparently this lady that did the tour, all of the stuff that she said was improv. I don't think it was real. But it was so funny how the tour went on. Everyone seemed so interested, and Pee-wee is like so impatient.
Yeah,
he's tapping his foot, rolling his eyes. But they get to the end, and he asked to see the basement. And they said, like, there's no basement. And they all start laughing and making fun of him. And then he just runs off.
I know that at that point, then he's sitting there sulking, and the lady from the diner shows up. It's like, I'm going to Paris, Pee-wee.
Yeah, she told him while they were in there that she wanted to, like, go to Paris or something.
And that guy's still pissed at him.
Yeah, so she eventually gets on the bus. And Lee,
to be fair, he thinks that Pee-wee got with her. Yeah. So it's like he's just like
if that guy only knew.
Yeah.
He had nothing to worry about.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't it? Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's a chase scene where he starts going after her. He starts going after him. And he stumbles upon a rodeo and gets dressed up.
Yep.
And starts bull riding.
Yep.
I don't think we see this dude after because Pee-wee falls off. The guy like runs in because he was in the stands. And he spots Pee-wee and he jumps in, and Pee-wee's on the ground. He jumps in, and then he's wearing a red shirt, and he looks over. The bull's like hiking his hoof, and he's like, "Oh!" And he goes to run. I don't think we see that character until like maybe the end of the movie, but like he runs, he jumps over the fence, and he noticed it because I noticed it, and he was like, "Yeah." When he jumps over it, there's a hard cut, and then the bull jumps over.
Yeah, like once he jumps. The scene
it feels like the scene goes like here's
like they were splicing it together.
It feels like this is the scene, and the other scene was slightly up a bit.
Yeah, like it was out of alignment just for a moment, but it's so funny because like I don't care. Like I'm not trying to poke it out to say the movie was awful, but it's one of those things that I don't think back in '85 we would have noticed on those grainy screens before everything was like digital.
You blink or you turn or something. You know, I mean, those movies they had. I would assume in 1985 you had the drive car and stuff too, so you wasn't getting perfect.
Yeah. So like, shit. I just lost my train of thought.
The bull jumps over. And
but that. But the scene, like. I've seen scenes cut like differently, and it all seems together.
Have you
seen?
It
was so
well. Have you seen? I think it's the Taken 3 movie. I've never seen it, but I know that there's a scene where Liam Neeson. I've seen this clip. He goes to jump over a fence, and it's like 8 to 10 cuts of him going to like rub to the fence and like putting his hands on there, jumping, his feet coming off the ground, him going over one side to the other side in a top view.
I've only seen that movie once.
I've never seen it. Because the first one was good. Second one felt like you kind of saw his sluggishness. Like it's almost like he didn't want to do the movie. And then I was like, okay, I don't know if I could watch the third.
I'd like to do those, especially the first one, because that one was great.
The first one was great. Second one, it felt like he kind of showed his age. But yeah.
So, yeah, the bull's chasing him.
We don't see that guy. The bull just like
goes after that, we don't see Andy
now,
anymore.
I don't remember what Pee-wee does after this. Does he go to the bar? Is that the next scene?
Oh, no. Oh, I wanted to say before he gets chased by Andy, he asks Dottie to send him some money, and she's like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm in Texas," and she says, "No, you're not." And he leans out and he starts singing the song, and then the people clap and like, "Deep in the heart of Texas," and he's like, "See." But I remember this because after he gets like knocked out and everything, they're trying to wake him up. And he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I don't remember."
God,
and they asked him another question. "I don't remember." And they said, "Well, what do you remember?" And he says, "I remember the Alamo."
God.
Everyone goes, yeah.
Such a bad joke. It's like it's fitting for the movie. It really is, but it's also just like, oh, like. I know. So
this is where he ends up going to a bar.
He goes to the bar. Okay.
To use the phone.
Yeah, and he was like, shh.
Everyone's being quiet. He's like, I'm trying to use the phone. And everyone kind of shuts up and turns to look at him. And then they walk up and they hang him up and they hang up the phone. They're talking about it being a private bar and everything. Yeah. So they kind of get him. They lean him against the table and everything. He says something to one of them. He said,
I need to go. Like, he's like saying like he needs to go because they say like we're like Satan's helpers or some shit. And he's like, I'll be on my way. And like he goes to leave. And I feel like I know he had to have said something. But I know it was I'm going. I'll be on my way. And he like, kind of like tries to get out. And he gets out, but then hits the bike
and knocks them all down,
all over them.
And they get him back in there, and they say no, okay, because they're all saying like we're gonna kill you, and another guy goes, we're gonna do this and then kill you. Another guy goes, we're gonna do this and then kill you. And then Pee-wee's like, I say let him go. And they're like, no.
Then we get a guest star.
Yeah, and then the biker mom, I think that's how she is labeled in the movie, is Cassandra Peterson, who, if you don't know, she is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Have you watched anything like related with that?
All I know is the titties.
Yeah.
I think that's most people. They're just going to see titties and be like, I know her, because it's just, you can't, default.
Yeah, you I
mean, there's cartoon
if you see her and someone and your wife tells you or your girlfriend tells you, what did you notice about her first?
Yeah.
It's the titties. And if they don't say that, if they say anything else, they're lying because they're there.
I know that.
Put my face between those breasts.
I know that he does his really dumb dance.
Yeah, so he does. Yeah, so he ends up getting the shoes from someone, and he starts doing the tequila dance with the hands front and back and the little pose. What I was trying to do is sitting down. I can't do it. Do you want me to do the dance real quick?
No, I will get up.
Okay. Next time. I'm not going to do it. Maybe.
Gonna make me do my long walk again?
The long walk. I was surprised you made it back.
I got before the cold got here.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So they end up, I guess he's a part of their crew.
Yeah, he wins them over with his dumb.
He's wearing a vest.
Yeah, and they give him a bike, and obviously the bike stops up on one crank, and he's like, and that's probably my favorite scene. He goes and rides off.
You go and
he hits a sign, and like I love the fact that he hits it. All sound cuts off besides the hit. It just he flips over.
I like movies that do that. It's like the music is playing or something tense or it's all happy. And when something happens, like they fall, like all music and everything stops, and you hear like them crashing and going "ow" or just something like that.
It's the way he hits.
He runs through the side and then flips over to the side.
Violently flips over to the side. It wasn't like a flip. I swear he rolled once, and it was just it's the dead sound of. It's like this loud ass bike goes silent.
But I want to talk about this scene too because this is where he has another dream while he's in the hospital, and the music that plays, he was mentioned. It's like I've heard this somewhere several times, and I'm like, where's this from? It's music written by Danny Elfman, of course, for the movie, but the band Primus, one of my favorite bands, probably my second favorite at least, they use that every time they come out. So I've seen them 4 times, and I've heard that, and I've always wanted to know where that was from. And then I found out that it was written by Danny Elfman for the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And then I actually had a chance, today and a few weeks ago when I was trying to do notes that it was in there for the clown dream. The bunch of clowns coming to fix his bike or take his bike because it's damaged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like Promise, and I like that song, and I'm probably gonna soon try to put that as a ringtone on my phone because I really like that. And then as Pee Wee wakes up, he sees his bike on TV in Hollywood with an actor who we just talked about. I can't think of the actor's name, but he played Lorraine's little brother with the raccoon skin hat. In there, he says, "Wow, 2 TVs. You must be rich."
Yeah, I don't remember the guy's name, but he was being,
and he was also Kevin's older brother in the Wonder Years.
Yeah, but he was being incredibly. He's like, "Oh, this bike, awesome!" and then like just being kind of like rude about it.
Yeah. So Pee Wee decides to make it to Hollywood to go get his bike, and he dresses as a nun. So they're trying to film the scene, and I love how he's like, he's sitting there impatiently waiting
he's
again.
Impatiently waiting, and it's just so obvious it's him instead of the head down or anything. And you're seeing how much of an ass this kid is, and how much the nun just does not want to deal with. The lady playing the nun doesn't want to deal with him. And then when it's like the director goes to say, action, the kid's like, action. And it's just like, this kid's an ass. And then immediately turns to her, "I'm so happy that I was able to donate this bike." And she's like, "Oh, thank you." And then he starts overacting, like really getting into it. I don't remember what all he says.
And then but finally Pee Wee can't have it. He's like, "I'm going to start a paper route." And he grabs it and just takes off. And what?
I love that. He's like, "Oh, it's so great." He's like, "It is. I'm going to start a paper route." And it's like, wait, what? And then we get the whole rundown of the.
Oh my god,
the back.
I like this chase through the back lot through all these movies and everything. Like they pass a band playing, which is Twisted Sister. I didn't.
Yeah, I know. I knew that.
I thought that was cool. They traveled through a jungle, and
they did the speed up backlots. You got a boat chasing him.
Yeah, a boat. It's pure chaos.
He sees a pink and purple and blue elephant, or pink and blue elephant. I think it was purple and blue. It's so much happens at once. It's kind of hard to take in.
Yeah, which I don't have a problem with. I thought it was really cool.
Now, at what point does it shift to it being like this was actually a movie?
Oh, we're about to get there. We're literally at the end.
I got distracted and I came back. I was like, "Oh, I forgot this was like a film."
So when he gets away from there and he makes it to a pet shop,
right?
And it's on fire, and he's saving all the animals, and like they have monkeys in there, and he's getting the monkeys to help him. But my favorite thing is he goes in there about 3 or 4 times, and every time he does, he passes by the snake tank and always gives it a look. Like he saves everything else but that. But it's every time he goes in, they show him look at it, give it a nasty look. But then finally he decides to get him, and he runs out, hold him in his hand, going "Ah!" And then he like passes out. And the cops come and they thank him, for saving everything. And he had a meeting with the execs for Warner Brothers, and they show him all the clips of like as they were recording, like the Godzilla one and everything of all the chaos.
Actually, as a big Godzilla fan, I loved that whole part.
And they decided they want to make a movie about his life.
The best part of that whole scenario, because he's walking through everybody that was in the movie.
Yep.
The best part, in my opinion, is him as the bellhop. There's a lot that we could talk about. The bellhop's the best. If you want to talk about anything leading up to that.
I can't remember the what they called the movie, but they had different actors playing him. But Pee Wee got to be in the movie, but they had to take his voice because he had the Pee Wee voice, and they didn't want to use that, so it was dubbed over. But the best part was every time he was in a scene, he would side eye the camera, and it was so funny.
He'd lean in, or he'd stare at the camera, and then look over and stare.
And
at the camera.
I can't. I can't think of the actress's name that played Dottie.
The part when they go
Morgan Fairchild.
Yeah, well, the part when they go to kiss and stuff, and he like gets right in between the kiss.
And of course playing Pee Wee, but in the movie they called him PW. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah.
They called him PW. It was Charles Brolin, Josh Brolin, Thanos' dad. He got to be Pee Wee, and he got to say the little lines like, "I know you are, but what am I?" You know, this kind of stuff. But as it's going on, Pee Wee's meeting some of the people that all he met throughout the movie. Even the criminal guy who was on a prison bus, but they let him come watch the movie. I thought that was really cool. But he gets to Dottie, you know. But Francis and they're talking, but Francis comes up. He's being interviewed and saying basically all this is like thanks to him.
He's the one that made it happen. And it's like, I guess technically. Yeah,
so and he wanted to ride the bike while they're filming, so he gets on and didn't know that Pee Wee had an ejector seat. So he presses the button and he flies off across the screen. And Pee Wee's like, "Let's get out of here." And Dottie's like, "Don't you want to watch the rest of the movie?" He's like, "I don't need to, Dottie. I lived it." So then they get on the bikes and they roll across the screen.
Yep.
And that's the end of the movie.
Now we haven't seen the second one.
No.
I don't. It makes me wonder if I've seen it, but don't recall anything of it.
Yeah, you know what? I'd say that too.
Because it's like, I feel like...
I can't say 100%, but I can tell you that at this moment, if I'm thinking of a scene from that movie...
I don't recall any scene.
Nothing.
I recall so much from this movie.
The show and this movie.
It does make me wonder, because I just want to know what... I'm curious on how well it did, as well as it's like, is it any good?
I may check it out one day. Like I said, I'm not in a hurry.
So, where would you rank this movie? Out of
10?
Yeah.
This movie I think it's well made. I really do. It's a fun ride. Pee Wee is a really cool character. He was super popular. I don't know if you remember. I think we talked about it though, but I think it was in the early mid-90s. Paul Reubens got in trouble for masturbating in a porn theater.
We were going to say numbers, and you brought it to that.
No. Well, I was trying to say about something is I remember the big controversy, but like I was talking about his popularity. That's what it is, because he ended up getting his show canceled because of that.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of hard to advertise when you do that.
After that, I don't remember how far. I'd have to look into it. But he showed up at the MTV Movie Awards or the Video Awards. It was one of them. It was for MTV. He shows up as Pee Wee. After all that, he gets a standing ovation for like at least a couple of minutes. And like people are like, "Yeah, it's Pee Wee." And then he says, "So, you hear any good news lately?" Talking about his...
Yeah, you got to be...
Yeah.
Gotta be.
I'm just trying to say that that character was so popular that people like don't care. Some people may.
Well, it's like if he's going to just go that I guess is what gets me. It's like he went to because obviously they didn't have him around when we were born, or when we were old enough to go in. That wasn't a thing.
No,
but like a porn theater,
unless it was a rule,
it probably was just you watch.
Yeah.
But it's like, I guess, I don't know. Like, is that a way you buy movies then? I don't know. There's a movie I watched. Ironically, the name is called Hardcore, but it's not a porno. It's about a guy finding his daughter who went into porn. And he's about like the 1970s is what I think it is. So he is like going and trying to find out where his daughter is. And because they came from a religious family. And then, as he is figuring it out, he goes to a porn theater, and it's like they're just sitting there watching. Probably the best. That movie was good, but it had a very serious tone. But the one part of that movie that was funny is to find out the whereabouts of his daughter. This is a very religious man. To find out the whereabouts of his daughter, he fakes being a porn director. so where he could try to find the guys who were in the film to then find out a lead for his daughter. And he basically has to put these fake interviews. And it's a bunch of dudes like coming in and showing their cocks to him. And he's like a religious dude. He's like, next. Like it's like each time it kept going, it just kept wearing on him more. And he's just like,
I kind of want to see this.
It's a good movie. It is very like dark and serious, but like that little bit there is kind of like a comedy moment. It kind of lightens it enough because him just being like, it's like, you want to see my cock? He's like, sure. So this is like the 15th person. He's like, sure. But anyway, we were going back to the.
Basically, what I was trying to get is that his character was really popular. Like no matter what, he has a legacy. The movie is well made. I had fun watching it, but I don't think it's like a masterpiece or anything. All right. So what I'm gonna say is, I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10.
That's pretty much me.
Yeah. However, like saying that, I still think it's a good movie, and I will rewatch it.
I say a 6, and it's just because it's like I'm not going to go out of my way to put this in a player to watch it. If it was on TV, I'd watch it, but it would just maybe be for a few moments.
Yeah.
Like watch it, maybe see the bike scene that I love so much there and go to the next one. It's like, I don't know. I don't hate the movie in any way. The beginning, it's very hard for me to get into. I wasn't a big Pee-wee like fan, like I wasn't. It's one of those, you pass by it and reruns and stuff. But I would definitely say a 6.5 because I always feel like, yeah.
But besides that, I enjoyed this movie. So
okay, so I guess till next time.
Yeah,
you're gonna go and press the button now.
Do I have to?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. All right, everyone. Don't look at my face. But thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, please.